they end up making us feel so miserable that we just don't keep them. So it really is so much about perspective, how we build them, and who they're for. Welcome to Therapy Explained, where we explain, demystify, and destigmatize mental health and mental health treatment. My name is Deniss. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and your very own mental health cheerleader. Every video comes with its own cheat sheet that I make available to you on Instagram, so make sure to follow me there at Deniss so that you can get access to yours. Please note there has been a change in my Instagram handle. So today's video is all about why your New Year's resolutions might not work and what to do about it. Now, before we jump into it, I do have to say that I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions. What I find is that the way that we look at them and build them is what makes us feel stressed out and unhappy and ultimately unmotivated about them. So as you'll notice as we go through all the things that I'm listing, what's important is how we look at them and how we're building them. Now, I am a strong believer in setting goals and then developing ways to get to that part. I do that in treatment all the time. So I'm not saying that having goals, aspirations, dreams, intentions are bad, but the way that we go about them is, again, what tends to create that stress, unhappiness, overwhelm, and just negative feeling about New Year's resolutions. So today's video is all about helping you look at them and build them in a different way that will help you get to what you want to get to and build the life that you want. Number one, they are not for you. By this, I mean you're not internally motivated towards this resolution or goal. It's something that you've chosen because you feel it might make you seem smarter, cooler, stronger, sexier, more lovable. And a lot of the times our resolutions, or the most popular resolutions, tend to be rooted in a very human and deep core need to feel loved and to feel like we are enough, which in of itself is not a bad thing. We all want to feel loved. It's a human basic need, but the way that we go about it is what's important. So if we're looking for someone else to make us feel good enough, we're going to be searching forever. That like, that comment, that way to go is going to feel good for a short amount of time, but that is fleeting. Something that will never go away though is you. You will always have you. So if your motivation is internal, if you are saying, I want to accomplish this because I will feel this way, because I know that I will be proud of the choices that I'm making, I will be happy and fulfilled with making the decisions and doing the things that are going to get me to this resolution or to this ultimate goal. If it's internally motivated, you're not going anywhere. That motivation will remain. So if you already have your New Year's resolutions, sit down for a second, look through them, and cross out anything that isn't really for you. Number two, they are not realistic. This might go hand in hand with they are not for you. So for example, if you're someone who genuinely does not like to study or go to school and you're more artistic and want to do something else, if you're choosing to go back to school this year because that's what everybody else says is success, then it's not realistic for you to say, yes, I'm going to go back to school and graduate within X amount of time, because that's not who you are. It's not realistic for you to have struggled with school or motivation to go to school and then all of a sudden decide that on January 1st, you're going to start going and you're going to really enjoy it. So this goes in hand with choosing things that are internally motivated, but it is also when we choose things that are not in the realm of things that we've ever done before and we're shooting extremely high. Now, we all have the ability to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. I don't think that anyone is not smart enough or not capable of doing anything. If we really want to, we're motivated and we're committed, it is absolutely possible. But it takes time and we have to think of our goals as realistic. So again, if you have had developed your resolutions already, go through them and make sure that you are tweaking it a little bit so that it feels more realistic. So if you've never gone to the gym before, then the resolution might not be the most realistic if you're expecting to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week every day from now on, or from now on, right? Because it's not something that you've ever done before. If you've never been to the gym, if you've never been able to keep up this consistency, it's not realistic for us to expect that you will be able to do it this time around. Now, I'm not saying that that can't be a long-term goal. Maybe by December of next year, right? Or December of this year, you should be able to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. But if you haven't done that before, it's not realistic. If your goal is to, okay, I want to read a book, 1 book a month for the whole year, and even that sounds like it could be realistic. But if you haven't done that in the past, if you find that it's hard for you to read 1 book a year, that's probably not realistic for you to expect to read 12 in 1 year. So go through your resolutions and cross out things that don't feel realistic and just adjust it. Again, it doesn't mean that you can't make that your long-term goal, that at some point you want to be able to do that. That's great. You should do that. But again, if your goal is too big, it can feel overwhelming. You are capable of accomplishing it. You are. Just take a step back and tweak it a little bit. If you haven't already had your resolutions made, make sure that you're keeping this in mind as you're writing them down. Number 3, you don't have a plan. So if your resolution is to start eating healthier, that is great. But it can be more challenging if you don't really have an idea of what that is. So still ask yourself, what does that mean? Does that mean I want to eat more fruits and veggies? Does that mean that I want to just cut out sugar or cut out desserts, or just in general start to cook at home because I feel like that in general is going to be healthier? So sitting with yourself and having a clearer idea of how you're going to accomplish that goal is extremely helpful. Because if you go into it thinking, I just want to start, eating salads every day for lunch, that's not realistic. That's probably not for you. And ultimately, you don't really know how you're going to do that. Do you have recipes lined up of different salads that you want to try? What happens if you don't have enough time to prepare them ahead of time? Or is there a store near you that might sell good, healthy food around you? So brainstorm, what will that actually look like and what will it actually take for me to get there? And in the realistic part, if you're hoping to be able to have a salad for lunch every day and you've never done it before, and it's hard for you to eat salads, you don't even enjoy salads, don't do it. Maybe the goal can just be eat more greens or add more veggies into my diet. So this is what I meant by tweaking it in the last goal, and what I mean in this goal, or this part of helping you have more realistic and more successful resolutions, is to have a plan. Ask yourself, how am I going to get to where I want to get? Number 4, you're not celebrating them. Make sure to celebrate your small wins. Now that you have an idea of, okay, I am going to have this goal, it's realistic, and this is how I'm going to accomplish them, make sure that you're celebrating. If you're not celebrating, it's gonna make you feel like you're in this never-ending journey with no break. Having resolutions with no celebration in between until we actually get there is self-punishment. It doesn't encourage you, it takes away from your motivation, and that's very likely a reason, if not the reason, why you stopped your resolutions or might want to stop your resolutions at some point this month. So as you're going through how am I going to get there, make sure that you have little markers of success and celebrate those. If you have the salad goal, for example, and you notice that you're having salads twice a week, that's amazing. Celebrate that. And I don't mean that by breaking your progress, but maybe, going out with friends or sending a text to a friend and say, hey, I was able to accomplish this thing. It's huge. So pat yourself on the back. Absolutely. That helps you with the motivation, and it will help you with keeping your momentum going because you're excited and it feels like you're resting, you're reflecting on your progress, and now you can keep going. Number 5, you don't have a support system. If you don't have a support system, someone who is cheering you on or helping you stay accountable, it's going to make it really hard for your resolutions to be successful. In line with the last point of you feeling like you're in this never-ending journey of healing, it's also kind of hard when you're on your own and you're trying to celebrate something, but it doesn't feel like it's being validated by the world around us. Now, remember in my first point, it is important that we're internally motivated and that we are cheering ourselves on as much as possible. But if you can find someone who is willing to keep you accountable and or celebrate these small wins with you, it can really help that motivation, right? And help you feel like, good, I'm doing something. Because it's human. We all need validation to some degree. Because we are social beings, right? The only reason that we know that we exist is because of our interactions with the world around us. We know that we exist and we know that we're important because we know that we affect other people. So in that way, when we are accomplishing things, if we're able to celebrate it with someone else and share that with someone else, it feels good. It creates and allows us to have that validation of progress. So try to find yourself a support system. So what do we do? Now that we're like, okay, these are all the things that could go wrong and reasons why my resolutions might not work. Go through that list or keep all these points in mind as you create your list of resolutions. It's important that you are covering all of these bases to help keep you motivated and really accomplish the things that you want to accomplish this year. I also have created a video last year on how to make really good goals. I walk you through how I develop treatment goals with my clients that can help you develop really amazing, realistic, doable, and accomplishable New Year's resolutions. So make sure to check that video out. And lastly, maybe consider creating intentions for the year. As you create your list regardless, it really helps to remove the stress. To know that if you want to eat healthier overall in the year, that should be your intention, right? That should be your umbrella feeling and goal for the year. And it would be wonderful if you went to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and ate salads for lunch every day. Sure. But if you can't accomplish that, it's okay. By December, if you can look back and say, you know, I didn't accomplish that, but I've been moving my body at least like 3 to 4 times a week, and in general I have increased how many veggies I put into my body. I think I've accomplished that. That's the most important thing, and that's what also touches in that internal motivation, because it's not for someone else, it's for you. This is something that you wanted to do to make you proud. So regardless of what other people might think or what their markers are for your success, that doesn't matter. It's about your markers and your overall intention to be healthier, to work on your mental health, to love yourself more, whatever your intention might be for this year. Take some time to do a little bit of that. Now, I did create 2 worksheets for you this month. The first one is how to create those SMARTY goals that I walk with you, or that I walk through with you on that New Year's resolutions video from last year. And I also created a journal prompt worksheet to help you reflect on and build an intention for the year. They're both up on my website for purchase, but if you joined the newsletter, make sure to check the newsletter for your coupon so that you can get either one of these for free. And if you're not already part of our newsletter community, make sure to join down below so that you can get a free worksheet every month. Now, worksheets are different from the cheat sheets because the cheat sheets just summarize the video. But in my worksheets, what I've started to do is create journal prompts and provide you with written notes to help you do more work with the videos that I give you every month. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more videos on all things mental health. And of course, remember, as always, I'm cheering for you.